Hello, welcome back to the Founders Disco. I'm your host Shuj, and we're here with Alex Backhouse, the founder and head coach of Encore Strength and Conditioning based in the UK. Alex, how are you?
I'm really good, thanks, man. Thanks for having me on the show. It's a
Thanks
privilege.
for coming down. Tell us a bit about yourself and Encore and how you got started.
I'm 45 now, so I've been a personal trainer for 20 years. Yeah, so I did the one-to-one thing. Well, actually, I did the apprentice thing, cleaning gym floors and cleaning toilets for less than minimum wage. Built my rapport with gym owners and people. Then became a personal trainer, became a gym manager, all that stuff. And I was just doing one-to-one PT. Then an opportunity came up to get my own place. And so we went for it. It was kind of small, not the big gym, not your classic like big gym vibe. So I was like, okay, we're going to have to do things differently here. And I started off just doing one-to-ones and some like circuit kind of boot camp stuff. And then as things progressed, the idea, well, basically I had to blend the two. And so we started doing small group PT where we could do like a strength session like you do with a personal trainer, but with a few more people. So and we're still doing the fitness classes as well. And then we opened here just over 10 years ago.
Amazing. So tell us a bit more. I'm actually really curious because for me, fitness and that whole space, I discovered it about what 12 years ago or something. So that would have been around when you first started.
Right.
Compared to now, what was fitness and the industry and the space in general 20 years ago when you started?
Brilliant question. Well, tough one. So in 1999, I read a book called Body for Life by Bill Phillips, and it was like the original transformation thing. Do this diet and train like this for 12 weeks, and you'll look like these people in the photos. And I never did, but it did teach you like a framework to transform or just to live healthily. That was in 1999, and then I became a musician. I kind of went to music college, worked on building sites, and did all this stuff, and had a very different lifestyle. So in 2005, I came back to it, and I got swept up in the intense fitness movement. So you had to look good, you had to train as hard as possible, you had to like basically want to be puking, do you know what I mean? Beast mode, all that jazz. If you're not lying in a heap on the floor, that was it. And then I started training with some MMA guys, and we were doing that. We were doing hill sprints on Sunday, doing hard sparring on Sunday. I'd read books that are like, if you're not terrified if you work out tomorrow, you're not training hard enough. And I was like, yeah, 25,
Yeah.
and thought that was how you had to be. So we did that for a while. So yeah, did some MMA, trained the MMA guys, and even that sport's obviously massively different 20 years ago to what it is now, because now they're coming as absolute professionals. They're not scared when they fight. They're just like, okay, this is what I do. Whereas back then it's like, oh my God, I'm going to have a fight. So they want to train so hard that it would mimic that adrenaline-soaked feeling of, and that feeling of pure exhaustion that when you're 10 minutes into a fight, what are you going to do? And it was kind of like a layman's or a bro science way of training. It's like, right, you have to be as tired as hard, it has to be as hard as possible. So that was the fitness industry I got into. Because as a 25-year-old guy in Brighton, it's like, okay, I've got a lot of energy to burn up. Yeah, and this is kind of fun. So
Yeah.
and obviously different people are coming out from different angles as well. So we're in Brighton, which is quite holistic. There's probably more yoga studios and Pilates studios here per square mile than most other cities in the country, apart from London. So it's very chill. At the same time, the other end of Brighton is it's quite partying. So it doesn't seem to be a main industry except going to coffee shops, going out and getting drunk, or recruitment. Yeah, so the fitness industry I was in was like, right, let's train as hard as possible, let's batter the body, let's do all this stuff. And it was the start of, you probably remember like Tabata stuff, the 2010, they're like, oh, there was this research study that showed this, and so, oh, now we're going to do all our training like that. It's like, well, you don't need to. All they found was like, if you train this way, there's a correlation with this, and actually, maybe you burn 10% more fat like that, but it doesn't really make a huge difference to training.
Yeah.
So, yeah, after a few years of training like that, there was a guy that worked in the gym I was working at, and he worked for the English Institute of Sport. He was like a really great coach. He said, I think you should go to university and do this master's at St Mary's. I was like, yeah, okay. I've got all this basic level stuff down, so let's go and do that. And then I went back to school. So that was like, oh, this is like real science and real training and like real coaches, like Team GB coaches and professional rugby coaches. There's a lot more to it than just rah rah gung ho stuff stuff. So that was cool. I think there's a lot more of that in the industry now. Again, it's still what's crazy now is like your Instagram feed. If you follow fitness, you can follow like evidence-based people like Peter Attia or Len Norton. Then you've got absolute, don't want to say, non-evidence-based gurus that tell you to, do you know what I mean, drink your own urine, or, do you know what I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah, the whole like, ice bath fasting stuff, but gone crazy. So yeah, there's still a big grey area. And
Yeah.
then, like I said before, just because there's one study that showed this thing one time, doesn't mean we need to base our whole lives on that.
And I guess it doesn't also mean that it necessarily works with who you are as a person physically. And, there's a big mental aspect to it as well, right?
Yeah,
If you're sure you can, like, intermittent fasting, right? Works really well for me. I can do that. From my background, I'm not, fasting is a familiar feeling, right? My wife, on the other hand, Italian, Australian, cannot go 2 hours without something to eat, or it's a problem.
yeah,
Like, so she gave it a couple of goes, and I'm like, this is not agreeing with you at all. Like her body doesn't take it. Mentally, she's not with it at all. And I'm like, is this worth, maybe a kilo too?
and that's it. And that's
You know?
because it depends on the goal, doesn't it? It's okay,
Yeah.
right? If this works for you, and that's what we say with any diet, the best diet is the one you can stick to. So yeah, if
Mm.
being miserable and angry with your family for 16 hours, it's just not
Yeah.
worth it for whatever the weight loss thing
Right?
is, right? Because it all
For
comes down to
sure.
calories in the end, right? We know.
Hmm. And what was, and because again, you've been in the game so long, right? You've and I guess I've experienced some of it, which is where I'm drawing from, but not as a professional. 1999 communication would have been very different, right? In terms of, like you read a book, right?
It was literally a
And
hardback book with pictures. It was like, yeah,
yeah, and like probably fitness magazines and stuff like that would have still been the
yeah,
main
yeah.
source
And you
of
like,
knowledge.
and it sounds, I don't know, it sounds like an old fart, but it's like, yeah, you'd wait monthly for Muscle Media to come out, or you kind of like flick through Flex, which is just hugely enhanced bodybuilders, and you think, oh, right, this is it.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
less honesty about that, about who's taking what special supplements and stuff like that. So,
Mm,
but yeah, it was a hardback book, yeah, and a monthly magazine, and then other books that are handed down, then really old books like Mike Mensa books, or the one I referenced earlier, Peter Constantine, Fit to Fight, and stuff
mm.
like that, written by Dorman. And there's a thing with like hierarchy of evidence, like, well, it's in a book. You can imagine, like, yeah, the 90s, like, what, it's in a book, it must be true. Unfortunately not, it's
Yeah,
just, yeah,
you
because
can't
99,
question it because there's no other way to find the information you need to
yeah,
necessarily disprove something, right?
exactly, no one there to question it, and like you say, no platform for a back and
Yeah.
forth. So no, that's not actually true. Or I worked for him, he's really big, she's really
Mm.
lean. Yeah, let's do what they do. And like, yeah,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that.
I think to a degree as well, the whole textbook theory, right? Where back then it was actually so challenging to publish a book, let
Yeah,
alone have it in the hands of millions of people. That to go through all of that, you it was just a lot harder to defraud the system, right? Nowadays you can write a book and be an Amazon bestseller in some category or another.
yeah.
There's a game to it, right?
Hopefully.
Um,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, a few people have done that. So yeah, you get your network to, hey, buy my book. It's £1 today. I'd really
yeah,
appreciate it. And then next thing you know, like you're a number one bestseller.
yeah, yeah.
That's cool. And these guys are
Um,
usually experts in their field, but it's also more credibility if I wrote a number one bestseller on Amazon.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, chasing that credibility is almost sometimes more important than the content within the book. Again, we're talking, probably 10 to 15% of people out there who are using that strategy for whatever they're using it for.
Yeah,
But so given that was the scope when you started, right? Probably, let's say around 2010, we would have started. Facebook was sort of the big platform for getting yourself out there and getting information and stuff like that.
yeah.
If we wind back like just to that point, that would have been towards the early to midpoint of your career. Did that impact the way you you operated as a coach?
A bit. I think it was more about what changed then was how you marketed yourself. So I was like, I'm a conscious late adopter. People are like, why aren't you making videos, these are athletes and stuff? Like, I just want to be a good coach. Yeah, and it kind of like you get stuck in the mud, and it's not. It wasn't the best thing to do. Yeah, I should have been promoting myself with more media formats. But yeah, I think that's the first thing that changed. But yeah, then it just opened up. Now we're seeing the highlight reels or whatever of UFC fighters, of coaches in the States. It's like, oh, it's just a thing. And again, there's still unquestioning, it's on the internet, it must be true. Or let's just try this. And with everything, with nutrition, with training, with evidence, there's a scale, right, from absolute terrible to absolute gold standard. And if you're just training general population, it's like, okay, let's put you through this hard workout. There's always going to be a benefit to it. If you're training really hard 6 days a week and no recovery and on a calorie deficit, then that's not going to be beneficial. But so it's hard to say if you're using best practice. It's like, right, this is what I think, in my opinion, I've sought out the best way to do something, then ethically you're doing a good job. But if you're just smashing people because you think it's like, that's what personal trainers should do, it's like, oh, let's leave you in the heap. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I experienced some of that when I was very young. My first dip into the gym, right? I was always sporty. I did a lot of sport, high level, and coaches in those sports had different approaches.
Yeah.
But when I got to the gym was where I first experienced that. And it was this, she was an aesthetics, she was a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Like all of, 4'10", maybe 5'2", ripped. You could see every muscle sticking out of this lycra. And she had that attitude, just like melt this kid, right?
Yeah.
And there was fun to it, right? There's a lot of like ego when you're on the receiving end of it and whatever. And I was young, so it was pretty fun. But from back then, that would have been around 2010 to now. My coaches are very technical. They don't give advice or instruction without seeing some form or doing some tests if need be, doing, like how many reps at whatever percentage can I found that very fascinating. What sort of like tools and frameworks do you implement in your...
So you probably, these days there's a lot of stuff these days. How many reps in reserve do you have, like proximity to failure? I mean, that helps with hypertrophy. And we also know the progressive overload is king, right? Just to get stronger and just to increase your work capacity. So we need to track some things. And then a good coach as well can usually tell whether you've got 4 reps left in the tank or 10 reps left in the tank, or if you're done. So leave it there. Your form is deteriorating, you can hurt yourself, let's just stop. So yeah, it's a blend of all those things really. We do the big compound lifts, squat, bench and deadlift, and we track those, and we have like an undulating model. So we do like a heavy low rep day and then a higher rep day. Give the body a bit more time to recover, but we can keep working those movements. And again, most of our guys are Gen Pop. We've got ex-professional rugby players, the jiu-jitsu black belt, stuff like that. And then we've got everyone else, 98% is just lives in Hove, 40, 50-ish, just wants to train really well with good music in the background, but doesn't want to get injured. So it's all of that. We need to give results, but we want to do it safely. And it's like, hey, you want to feel it in the muscles rather than just be exhausted. And form is everything. Because if you're using wrong form, like the chest up and the shoulders back and down thing is huge. You'll feel it whenever you're next to the gym. Let's say you're doing triceps, just really pull your shoulders back and you just double the effect in your triceps, even on a skull crusher on the floor. So it's kind of, what muscles were we using before? If I'm doing a tricep exercise, it almost looks, apart from 1 inch of shoulder retraction, it looks identical. What muscles were we using before? So it's like we're following a recipe, but you're using salt instead of sugar, kind of thing. So it's like, okay, I'm getting the work done, but this isn't what I need to get done because I'm trying to target my hamstrings, or I'm trying to target my glutes, but I'm just getting it done because the body always finds a way, which isn't necessarily optimal for our goals.
Yeah, it depends what outcome you're looking for, right, on that movement. I learned a lot about that from powerlifting, actually.
Right.
Not that I ever practiced or competed or whatever, but the principles that were available from powerlifting were really good for isolating stuff, and getting the most out of those compound exercises. It was really interesting. Yeah, that's where I learned about the scapular retraction. Is that what
Yeah,
they
yeah,
call
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Very, very interesting.
I think powerlifting does like when you get really into it, it attracts a certain type of person. And again, the same way that MMA or that CrossFit style does, is like, boom, we got loads of energy. But yeah, powerlifters
Yeah.
usually quite. They love the data. They love technique. They're not necessarily. They work hard because they lift heavy, but they're not about that
Mm.
metabolic tasting blood. Raw. They're like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to obsess with this technique and the bar path of 1 centimeter here and there. So
Yeah.
everyone finds, like I say, it's on your personality. Everyone finds their thing, and then because
Yeah.
of that,
100%.
if you're
Way
obviously
more technical than I think most people would consider, given the sport.
yeah.
So during these processes, I guess, is just to clarify as well, your studio, you guys only offer training, coached training, or is it like a drop-in gym as well?
No, yes, it's only coach. So you're always with the coach. There's no open gym because the basically the timetable is full of sessions. So you book in
Yeah,
on that, and yeah,
cool,
it's either a strength session or a metabolic session.
cool. And do you offer like online programs and stuff, or
Not really. So we do a bit. So like if you've been a member, and we know because we're so obsessed with form. So if we know you know how to lift, it's like okay, cool, we can provide you with workouts. But yeah, we don't have an app that shows you like because you only need so much you can learn from YouTube. Do you know what I mean? A great coach can
sure.
spot if your shoulders are back and down. Do you know what I mean? From 6 meters away. Whereas if
Mm,
you're just watching a YouTube video, you might not even see that the person demonstrating has got doing this or doing that or where their feet are. It's really
yeah,
nuanced. And I find if someone is good enough to know that stuff, then they don't need me. Yeah.
yeah. Fair enough. And so, in terms of the results in the programs and stuff, you're talking about, you're 95%. Yeah, yeah, GPAR. So, would you find that they typically work out at another gym, or they just come to you like twice a week and that's their bar?
So they come and do their small group PT here, and then we've got the other classes. So we've got like a core and stretch class. So we've got the yin and the yang, and we've got some cardio classes. And they don't have to be, but we want to provide
Yep.
everything under one roof. So yeah,
Yeah.
if they like running, then they can go run as well and hit their strength. But yeah, kind of we don't, it's not essential, but we like it to be their thing. Whereas if someone does jujitsu 3-4 times a week, they're not going to come and train at Encore 3 times a week as well because
Sure.
it's a conflict of interest and a conflict of finances.
Yep. Fair enough. Yeah. So when you guys started Encore, was it like a takeover situation that you like kind of stumbled into opportunity, or did you sort of build it from zero?
No, yeah, it was all from zero. So
Yeah.
we found a property. It's a conference room in a hotel, which is now turned into a business centre. There's a yoga studio. There's a restaurant. There's offices upstairs. So we kitted it out. We changed the floor. We put squat racks in. Yeah, and we used to be called Alex Backhouse Strength and Conditioning, which like
Yeah.
if you know anything about business, probably not best to name your business after yourself.
Yeah.
But hey, we learned the hard way. In my defence, I used to train a big time marketing guru who's like a big deal like nationwide. They said,
Hmm.
Alex, it's you. You're the brand. It's all about you. I was like, okay, cool. Well, I'll just stick with Alex Backhouse. And anyway, so 5 years later, we
Sure.
rebranded and we became Encore Strength and Conditioning. It means it's something else. Yeah, it's a lot less ego because
Mm.
I'm not about ego at all. It means people want to belong to Encore rather than be trained by Alex, and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely happy
It
with that.
makes sense, and it builds your value. Your value is in what you've created, not, you know, like you can take a day off and everything will be all
Yeah,
right, you
yeah.
know?
Where's Alex? Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's a classic, which I
yeah,
mean.
yeah,
So
yeah, it happens. My first business I named after me as well,
yeah.
because I
What did
thought
you
it
do?
would
What's your
be,
first?
it was by Shuj.
Right.
So I had this cool concept of like I would do. So I started with IT solutions by Shuj, and sort of, I had this plan of all of these things, and then I didn't enjoy that. Like we did well,
Right.
but I think I was like 18, 19, real salty. Like I started it out of spite, because I got scammed. Like it was the classic scam, school, uni job,
Right.
and that's the dream they sell you. I finished my undergrad with like 5 years of experience. Granted, not in IT, but I'd been paid to build websites and do all sorts of stuff, and had more people skills than pretty much everyone in my cohort. And every time I hit an interview or got some feedback on my CV or whatever, it was like, oh, we need more experience. Dude, it's an entry level job. Like, you know what I mean? I still have to live with my parents to work for you. So, what are you actually asking me for, Like, I could, prove that I'm a decent human being to be around. I have
Yeah.
some competence. People pay me to do stuff every so often. I can
Yeah.
hold a job. What are we talking about? You're supposed to teach me how to do this menial task. Like, yeah. So I was just mad, and I was like, I'll make my own job. So a lot of the residuals in that business came from that attitude.
Yeah, I think
Um,
yeah, and I think as men, they talk about a lot. Like spite is a massive driver. Sometimes, yeah,
mhm.
I've had times where it's like, right, you need to get this number of members, and this is going to happen, and it's going to be it's going to be based on spite. I won't go into any details. Like, right, when you hit this can happen, and this person can do one. Cool. I've
Yeah.
never worked so hard to do that. So
I
yeah,
yeah, I feel you. I mean, at the end of the day, for the most part, what type of energy it is is not. It doesn't really matter if you got where you needed to go without causing 85 fires along the way. She'll be right. Um, you know.
yeah.
What a
I was
yeah.
going to say like Hormozy. We were talking about this the other day with some other gym owners, and like a 23-year-old coach. So I need to get my 8 hours sleep. You'll be fine. You need to shut the gym at 9 or 10, and then you need to open the gym at 5 or 6. So it's like, well, no, I need 8 hours. No, like you don't. You're 23. And then
Yeah.
Alex Hormozy obviously says, can we just normalise 12-hour work days and 6-day weeks for men between the ages of 18 to 30? Because you've got it in you. Just do it. Don't listen to your roots kind of thing. And the other thing
Yeah.
as well, like conscription, whether it's who was telling me yesterday, someone in France, I think conscription is there, but you don't have to be in the infantry. You could be communications, you could be IT support, and like it just teaches you a work ethic. And as a 18-year-old to 25-year-old guy, you've got a lot of like excess testosterone, anger, spite, which you can throw into business or just learn to channel it correctly. So yeah, and then
100%.
what did I do? I found MMA and overtraining. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah. That's the thing though, and I like the thing that I have to be a little careful about. But it's tricky because he's speaking to people like us, and we can take what he's saying sort of on board, extract the pieces that are useful, and
Yeah,
apply them, right? And then adjust, apply, adjust, apply. I'm pretty sure 98% of people don't have the capacity to do those things, right? And that's where I've had to be like learn to be really careful just in everyday life about like speaking as if like speaking freely, so to speak, right? In a
yeah,
context like this, we can have these discussions and that kind of banter because we've pre-established that we're on the same wavelength, maybe different
yeah, yeah,
industry,
yeah.
whatever, but we're trying to do stuff that because going to an office at 8 a.m. is fucking torturous. Like, like that's atrocious. But, every day on the street, I'm going to have a coffee with somebody tomorrow, and I know that I cannot have a discussion that I am truly passionate about
Right.
because they're either just going to be like, this guy's a wanker,
Yeah,
or have a bad time. And I'm like, ah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought I
yeah.
was behaving myself,
Mm.
but yeah, I know what you mean. It's like they either you're going to get a bit offended or triggered or go, "Wow, you're a bit intense." I'm like, Do you not know me? I'm sorry. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
what did you do?
Right.
I've
And
got
if the,
crazy. I
but
know people that literally work 15 hours a day and do all that stuff, and I'm not really that guy, but I'm well aware that, do you know what I mean, everyone could work a lot harder than they do.
for
Yeah,
sure.
myself.
And yeah, there's work harder, work smarter, all of those fun
Yeah.
things, and they all result in an outcome that is not normal, right?
Mm.
And I guess the only time it really annoys me in life is when people who refuse to not be normal are like take digs because you have things or a lifestyle or a whatever it is that they possibly want but aren't actually willing to put the work in to
Yeah.
create.
Oh
Right?
yeah, I mean, if
Uh,
we're touching on like controversial podcast subjects, we're not going to go crazy, but like Jordan Peterson
mm,
talks about
yeah.
equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome. Not everyone can
Mhm.
have that amount of money, but everyone has the opportunity to earn that amount of money, and that's it.
And it's a choice. Yeah, for me it's mostly time. Like people get really annoyed that I appear to have so much time. I'm like, yeah, but you haven't been to my house after 8 o'clock, bro. Why do you think that is?
It's 10 a.m. for me. It's like nearly yes, but it's bedtime for you. So yeah, you're doing this kind of thing now. So
And those little actions, right? It's the extra half an hour, the extra 5 reps, the extra little bit that you do every single day that
yeah,
over the space of like I'm 32, man. I didn't have freedom of time until a year and a half ago, you know. But that's it's a direct result of everything I did the previous 10 years
yeah.
to get to that point, right? Yeah, yeah. Very. What What are some of the frustrations you went through when you were starting as Alex Backhouse Fitness to Encore now?
Yeah. I think like marketing is hard, just getting new people and like I said before, like I just want to be a great coach. I don't want to do cheesy sales and stuff like that. I do want to have compelling offers. I want to have compelling sales things or do sales chat and stuff like that. And I feel like the industry's finally moving away from that because people are wise to it and it's just cheese. Someone told me I should be selling to 10 people on Zoom. And then if one of them says yes, the other one will say yes. Man, I'm not doing this. This is like Juice Plus, a pyramid scheme, sales technique
Mm,
stuff. Like maybe it works, but I'm not doing that. So these are my
yeah.
frustrations that I won't sell out and be a cheesy salesperson. I'm just
Mm,
me. And I just try and be the
yeah.
best coach I can be and provide the best gym we can. And it's that. And so that's my frustration really. Like,
Yeah. Do you want? So there's this campaign that I know works really well at the moment. Um, it's so you can do two ways. One, black background, white text, just come train, right? Or
mm,
something like that, right? Click through, very simple landing page. We do group classes. Here's the schedule. Here are, a couple of stories from members or whatever.
yeah,
But, all you're outlining is this is what we do, this is when we do it, this is what you get in your membership,
yeah,
and here's the community that exists within this ecosystem. Yes or no?
right.
Simple as like, because like you said, people are cluey into those, like how
Yeah,
many
yeah,
of those I see them all the time looking for 10 Mount Gambier men who want to lose whatever. Like no one cares about that stuff anymore.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, like ad campaigns have changed a lot but haven't at the same time.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then some of our best stuff is like through the door advertising or just referrals because like if someone loves it and they tell their
Yeah,
friend, trust me, yeah. And we talk about this a lot.
100%.
People like we talk about how men refer men to stuff. So if your car broke down, you wouldn't go on Google and type in mechanic near
Mm,
me. Like you'd ask your brother or your friend or your father-in-law, so who's the best mechanic? Who's not going to rip me off?
yeah,
And then I've got, yeah, men that have referred men, and they're my lifetime customers. I said, yeah, 7 years, 10 years, and stuff like that. It's like, okay, cool. That's the power of referral, really, especially in certain communities. And then, but like, yeah, if
yeah,
you know you love it and you trust your friend, anything like
absolutely.
that. Um,
Implied trust, right? It's very important. Proof, you know,
yeah,
proof that you know what you're doing. The So another avenue for doing that at scale, right? Is do you guys have like end of year or mid year or like summer like a catch up kind of like a social event for your
yeah, yeah.
members? So doing those in a public venue, right, is a huge drive, especially if I don't know how is Brighton. I think is fairly large, right? But within that sort of immediate ecosystem, right? Partner with a restaurant or a whatever, and if you so we have this here in town actually. So my cousin has a bar, and we have a couple of the smaller clean studios, right? Like similar to yours, but like actually small.
Okay.
I'm because small town, right? You've got three big box gyms, and then
Yeah.
everyone else is like a tiny studio, pretty much.
Yeah.
So they have their Christmas party at our venue, and at the same time, there's like 40, 50 other people mingling around them, and they're like just something about the group energy just attracts. And
Yeah.
then someone might know somebody, whatever. They're like, oh, these are all the guys from my gym, blah blah. You should come train with us. That's our coach. Look at him, isn't he mad? And that kind of thing. And it works, bro. I'm telling you,
Right.
people are just like, oh yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Um, and not necessarily like be prepared to sign them up because you're there to have fun, but
Yeah.
you have a couple of cards in your pocket. Come on down. Hey, I'm Alex. We'll do a little intro, maybe a 30-minute
Yeah.
session. I don't know, whatever it is you have, you know, um, as your stock standard works insanely. Like my buddy, he grows about 30 to 40 members
Right.
immediately after his Christmas show.
Wow.
And part of it's due to coming to the bar, but also because he doesn't give them alcohol. He's like, no, I'm not paying for drinks, dude. You're meant to be like healthy, right?
Yeah.
So, they'll have a good feed, mocktails, whatever. But those guys will all go party afterwards,
Right.
right? And they'll get wind up. And now you've got about 40 people just like dispersing. Oh, where you been tonight? Dude, my gym throws the sickest parties. It's insane. Over the next 2 weeks, he's like, where are these people coming from?
Right.
Because they had a couple of shots with old mate at the bar, you
Right.
know? Um, it is hilarious, but
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
let's say like the amount of business done on the golf course for like for business to business stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So I've
yeah.
got I've got friends that have never played golf in their life. Like, I need to get into golf. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's another punishing sport, that one. Um, yeah, my dad and my brother are super into it.
Right.
I'm a baseball guy. I like a bit more active in a sport. I find golf a little
Yeah.
passive.
I don't think it's a. I mean, we can't call it a sport. It's a sport. They're athletes. Yeah, the top guys are athletes, but
Mm.
it's a hobby. It's something you do. You hit a ball, and then you walk
Yeah,
and you hit it again. And like, yeah, and it's cool. And you have to be good at stuff. But like,
yeah,
if we're going to do that, I prefer archery. It's like, right, if we really have to concentrate and like, do you know what I mean, focus and lock in for 3 seconds,
yeah,
I prefer archery.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it's all the
Oh,
same
cool.
thing. And it's just
I
understanding
like
like
pool.
some people think rugby is a sport and other people think golf is a sport. And it's back to that spectrum thing we were talking about earlier.
Hey, some people think chess is a sport. Um, you know, it's man, there's debates and how that goes too.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, they're definitely
yeah.
mental stamina.
What would be the next milestone you guys are working towards after 10 years of being going through changes and adapting over
Yeah.
the years and memberships? What would be next?
Next milestone. I'm not sure because it's obviously like, do we need a bigger gym? Do we need a second gym? That would all be great if we were absolutely killing it. The problem with the property market in the UK and in Brighton, especially, is it's crazy expensive. It's very hard to come by. So in the old days, a bit further out of town, you could get an industrial unit. It'd be cool. You put a mezzanine in, you put your racks in. Unfortunately, people want to be within a mile or two of their gym. So if I get an industrial unit out of town, that's going to be fill it with a whole other cohort of people. So I'm
Mm.
not actually sure the next. I think it sounds again. It doesn't sound very like entrepreneurial for me. I just want to do a great
Mm.
job and get the right amount of members that and just keep doing
Wait,
great
wait for the yoga studio to mess up and then take their space.
and sweep
Uh,
into that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That
yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
Which is, yeah, totally valid, right? I don't think necessarily aggressively expanding is always the right thing to do.
Yeah,
Um,
I think maybe I never went to business school, but maybe I think that people are doing that so they can be bought up by, I mean, a bigger chain, and that's the plan. It's like,
mhm.
okay, cool. I don't know if I've got the headspace to do that, and I've got two kids, and I want to hang out with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, just oh yeah, let's get three spaces, and then we can sell it. And oh, I'm just gonna be miserable, and then I'll have nothing to do because I'll be so used to working
Mm.
15-hour days. But I'm losing my
Yeah, and
time.
all those people you've been helping along the way are like, well, what the heck, Alex?
Yeah,
Um,
there's definitely a lot of
yeah.
that. Yeah, so people are like, oh,
Mm,
hang on, let's change around here. You're franchising, and yeah,
mm,
there's never a goal, unfortunately.
yeah, fair enough. If you had unlimited time or money, what would already be done?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question, isn't it? I love time more money. Well, yeah, I mean, if we had a bigger place, that'd be cool. Oh man, I'm so sorry. This the way. Yeah, it's weird because like I don't know. I'm thinking small. I'm thinking like the decor. Like so years ago, we used to have like a whiskey bar in the gym. So you come in and literally like 8 different bottles of whiskey, and it was cool. We had a darts board,
Yeah.
got electric guitars up on the wall. Anyway, so it's not your average gym anyway. So
Yeah.
now it's kind of a blend of that. It's a bit more sensible, but I'm like,
Mm.
we could make it a bit more Planet Hollywood or something. Yeah, I don't know. That's a terrible answer. I don't know.
It's
What
fun
would you
though.
say? If you had unlimited time or money in like day to day life, what are you going to do? You're going, oh, okay, just travel the world and then get a bigger house and yeah, well,
Yeah,
yeah.
some people go that route, but for me personally, that from a work perspective, everyone with a business would have their own app. That's
Right.
my ultimate goal, right?
Yeah.
I want apps to be as accessible, affordable, and easy as WordPress or as creating a Facebook account. That's my sort of end game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean,
No.
right now in my space, it's gate kept by agencies who think they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Um, there's a perception, right? Even probably 20 years ago, you might know like the concept of having a website was just like that far out of reach. Things like television ads were sort of the bee's knees of getting known, you know?
Yeah.
But that's changed a lot. Yeah. So I like, as an example, that's sort of where I would head.
Sure. It's weird 'cause,
Family wise, yeah, I'd just be home all the time.
yeah. And it's like, well, I've got all the time with
Yeah.
my kids. No, they're bored of me. Yeah. It's really weird. So the app thing, but I
Mm.
get oh, just whatever you're thinking of, we can design it with this app. I mean, so what are you seeing? What's the reality as someone that's deeper in that
So
industry?
for me, it's not AI, right? So what we're actually actively building, so we do apps, right? Hey, you have a
Yeah.
business, you want an app? Yep, we'll build it for you, no problem. That's only one component of the actual business. On top of that is a WordPress like solution for apps. So theoretically, even now, I could sign you up and you could build your own app within 24 hours
Right.
and have it on the App Store. That takes a couple of days for Apple to do their thing. But see, like it's pretty much as simple as using WordPress, right?
Okay.
Or it can be as complicated as you want. If you're a bit technical, a bit of code, whatever, you can do a little bit more here and there. But for the most part, it's just like drag and drop, set it up, do
Yeah.
your booking, do your retail, whatever function your app needs. It's about as self-service as exists right now. Um, is it a product that we're ready to be like, hey, entire world, come sign up today? Not quite, but we're getting there. We're not far
Okay.
off. So that's sort of, there is AI in there, but it's
Yeah.
more of like an assist than, hey, build me an app for my gym.
Right.
Because even your big, powerful AIs can't do that. They say they
Mm.
could, and theoretically they could, but they can't. Yeah.
But you can. Well, you're working on it.
Yeah, yeah. So our tool, like, again, it doesn't build the app for you. You still have to set it up.
Right.
But it's so easy and seamless. Like, I don't know if you ever want to jam out, I'll literally build an app in front of you. It's
Yeah,
that
cool.
simple. Without coding, you'll be able to follow everything that I do and be like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah.
Because we've created that toolkit for it, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So you've done the
And
hard work to build the toolkit.
pretty
That's
much. And
cool.
like
So
AI has
this,
only helped us along
yeah,
the way because we started before AI was like where it is now, as
yeah, yeah.
accessible as it is now.
So hey,
Um,
how is AI affecting you? Is it a threat? Is it
nah,
obviously
man,
I'm
it's
more
it's
fun.
it's awesome.
Is
So,
it?
yeah, it like makes our workflows like super quick, right? We can react to things way quicker if there's a new right. So, perfect example. We've got a client who owns a gym. He does group classes and PTs, right? So he wanted like a hero system, right, where people get achievements based on milestones that they achieve, right?
Yeah,
10 classes, 100 classes, did the monthly challenge, whatever, whatever, right? And he wanted that to be presented really cool. So someone would jump in there and be like, dude, you know, my stats are off the charts this month, kind of thing. Like an engaging tool and sort of gamify the experience a little bit.
sure.
We turned that out in like 24 hours. Go back 4 years, that would have been like a 1.5, 2 week job.
Yeah,
Testing, retesting, making sure the right triggers were firing when the right amount of classes got hit. Da 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 da. Now we can code something up, get it tested, pushed, etc. in minutes. Yeah, it's it's awesome. And then within the system as well, sprinkling in little things. We found that people were struggling to, they were getting like paralysis
yeah,
almost. We're like, oh, like this seems really important that I fill it out properly. I don't know, a content page or, you know, an onboarding and stuff. Like, oh, how do I say the right things? Whatever.
yeah.
Sprinkling in a GPT prompter and adding a little button that says like generate with AI. So they'll generate it and then be like, oh, right, I see. And then modify it or just use it as is or whatever. All of a sudden, people are now doing things instead of just being stuck on a screen for ages. So,
Yeah, the paralysis by analysis or the overthinking thing, especially. I remember
yeah.
being given a template for my website. Must have been 12 years ago. I'm like, oh, I don't know what to say because this defines me. Do you know what I mean? What is my about page? What should it say? And it's like, God, yeah. And now, like you say, you can
Yeah,
just speaking to AI, and it could be a much sexier version of what you want to think anyway.
absolutely. And the ability to at least have a starting point, you know?
Yeah,
Because even if it doesn't get it right, there's two kinds of people. One who's like, that'll do, and the other one who's like, oh, I can chop and change this and make it more along my lines.
or
And
there's a third one. Actually, until it's absolutely 100% perfect, I'm not going to produce anything, and then nothing ever gets done. Right? So, yeah,
correct. And they're never going to be signing on anyway.
yeah,
They're the type of person who's going to ask us to build it for them.
yeah.
And then we're going to have to handhold step by step, have everything recurated and reviewed and whatever. And we have a service for that, you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
In any industry, right? The same with
mm,
this. Or I've read I need to do this, I need to do this, and blah, and like, it's like, just trust me, dude. Yeah, I've done this for
yeah,
20 years. I've got a master's in it. It's like, you pay me money, and I'll tell you what to
yeah.
do. Rather than, oh, what do you think of this, or anything like that. So I've watched this thing on Instagram. But it's the same with, like, with my car. I took the car to the mechanic yesterday. Oh, yeah, the ball socket needed a dust cover. And if I went and Googled that, I'd just be there all day, and like, then I'm going to
Yeah.
shop around for a better deal. So just trust the expert, and yeah, get stuff
Mm.
done. But
100%. It's effort for time, right? You're literally like buying time.
yeah,
And when you're low on resource but heavy on time, yeah, you can learn things and
yeah,
do stuff, you know. Or if you're completely stuck, I again, small town, limited capacity, right? I have a lawnmower that had a problem, called the guy whose sole responsibility in life is to fix this lawnmower, And he's like, bro, I can't get to it for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, that is not it. All of a sudden, Chat GPT and me
Yeah.
fixed this thing in like an hour and a
Yeah.
half, had those lawns done by the end of the day. Would I ever do it again? I hope not.
Yeah.
But
You remember how to do
you
it. No, it doesn't matter.
right? Yeah, yeah. So there's a balance there, right? Because we have the agency specifically for people who are time poor but resource heavy, or have resources. It's not crazy expensive, but
Yeah.
they trade resource to not do it themselves, and then we have the opposite, and that's part of the vision of giving everybody access. Like it's not gate kept because you don't have the time to do it yourself,
Yeah.
etc. And like agency tools. So we're building a whole suite so that similar to WordPress, right? There's like a million web development agencies in every country. So, and they all use WordPress.
Right.
We're also creating agency tools so people can build their app services around that platform. And that just gives more access because every single one of their website SEO marketing clients now have access to an app through people they trust, which is also important, right? Yeah, yeah. It's a pretty cool long game, and it's just a matter of chipping away, you know.
Yeah. That's the other thing, isn't it? If there's no like overnight quick fixes, all of it, it's just keep working a bit harder than everyone else maybe.
Absolutely. All right, Alex, three more questions.
Okay.
Oh, we actually did one accidentally. That's fine. Did we? No, I'm just reading the wrong notes. That's fine. Best piece of advice you've received when trying to build something new?
I'm not sure because this is the thing. Sometimes like you just gotta be you. And then someone else said to me once like, be a little bit less you and a bit more encore. I'm like, oh, hang on. But then if we go back to Hormoji, I think like looking back, just work that bit harder, just get stuck in. Do you know what I mean? Help with the painting, help with the building of the thing. Don't take it. Something that maybe contradicts what we were just talking about. Get stuck in yourself. Be absolute boots on the ground as much as you can. And yeah, people will see it and you'll appreciate it and you'll have a deeper understanding of it. But also toss up whether it's you or the business because sometimes depending on who you are, do you know what I mean? Like this guy's weird. I'm like, oh, he's alright once you get to know him. And I was like, but yeah, the business is this, and it's like so hope that's good.
Awesome.
Better than the last one.
And again, after 20 years of being in fitness, 10 years of having your business, what's advice you'd give to someone who's starting out?
Wow. Well, yeah, someone came in recently. Can I say just don't do it? Someone came in recently and said, "Hi mate, I've just qualified as a personal trainer. I'm looking for work." I'm like, "Oh, that's great." Give me a bit more background. So, well, I left the Navy. I was in the Navy for 5 years, and I thought he had this plan in his head. I'm going to move to Brighton and be a personal trainer. It's like, wow, dude, that's like going to move to Hollywood and be an actor. I don't know who advised you on doing this, but you are crazy. There are 5,000 qualified personal trainers in Brighton. It's one of the most expensive cities to live in. You're insane. So, but I gave him the same advice I give other people. Like, I'm making a job. Someone's about to walk in. I'm going to tell them to go away. We'll re-record this bit. Hey, Shiv. Sorry,
Sorry, you recording?
No, yeah, I'm on a. It's fine. Sorry, Phil, I should have put it out for you.
Yeah, no, sorry.
All good, man.
I've got a bucket now, just need to come back and get it. I'll do it straight away.
I'll get a bucket. That's all right, mate. Don't worry. Edit that bit.
That's all right. That's all right.
Okay, so yeah, the same advice I give to everyone is like, get a job, get your rent paid, get your food paid, and then have it as your passion, and then build it up. If it really is your passion, you really want to do it. Obviously, it's a very different game. So what I said to this guy was like, train everyone in your network for free, get before and afters, get great Google reviews, stuff like that. It's hard. Or the alternative is like, get as qualified as you can, work as hard as you can, be an apprentice, come and do an apprenticeship. Yeah. So, yeah, or just go and get a real job. Don't get a job in fitness, mate. It's not a real job. Come polish it and be an apprentice, learn how to build apps. Yeah. Again, and the other like the argument, I said, well, actually, fitness is the only one-to-one. I mean, not interpersonal thing now. Do you know what I mean? If we're all AI working from home doing this, actually coming to see people, exercise, move your body, have social interaction, that's what it's really about. And that's why people love it here. Because, like, yeah, they're not working from home, they're moving their bodies properly. Yeah. So,
Hell yeah. And where can people find out more about you and the work that you guys do?
yeah, the website, encorefitness.co.uk, our social handles, Encore Fitness Hove on Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, so we've got stuff there. Again, we're not huge, so we do the stories, the testimonials of people that love it, stuff like that. But I'm not trying to be a massive fitness influencer. But yeah, come and give us a follow on all that stuff. But yeah,
Oh, hell yeah, I'll have those linked everywhere we post. If you guys are in the Brighton area, give these guys a visit. Thanks, man. Thanks for hopping on
thanks
and
for having
giving
me.
us
Yeah,
some
it's really
insight
cool.
on how you guys have operated over 20 years. That's a huge span, and super impressive,
Yeah, I mean, all of
of
it with a lot
sticking
of help.
through.
Mentors, advice, business coaching, other models. Like yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's not I'm not claiming ownership or authorship of all this stuff, but yeah, it's like yeah, you still got to do you, and like yeah, like
Yeah.
we said before, it's like take a formula and then make it yours a bit, but with a lot of help
For
from
sure.
great people.
Yeah, yeah. And give yourself credit too. A mentor's not doing your work for you, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's one of those things. No one can do the reps for you. You did them. Yeah, you had coaches. Yeah, you probably invested a whole bunch here and there and whatever. But you had the vision. Are continuing to execute on it. So,
that's it. Thank
yeah, yeah. Don't discount that. It's pretty awesome. Fantastic. Thank you again very much, and we'll keep in touch.
Brilliant, nice one, Church. Really good to chat and connect.